Here we go, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Watchers. We are the Watchers, man. I am your host, Rod Dye, man, here with my co-host.
Going on,
Well,
baby? I'm Dario Pope, man. Straight out of Cleveland, man. You already know
yeah,
how we get down. Residing in your city, Columbus now, man. Go
yeah,
Buckeyes. Let's go.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. He said go Bucks. We'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. But like you said, Dario Pope, I call him, Watch Rio,
Rolex
Rod
Ride.
Die, Watch Rod, Chrono Rod, whatever you want to call me. But yeah, welcome to the Watchers, man. And thank you for joining us on this journey, man, as we, explore, not only our affinity for watches, but as we dive into these conversations and, as we continue to grow in our horology journey. We look forward to having you with us, man. So I'm gonna just give you the floor, man. So first off, man, like I said, tell the people, a little bit about yourself, man. Like you said, I know you said you're from Cleveland. Obviously, you reside, here in Columbus as well, man. But to give a
Absolutely.
little background about yourself, man, and then also what's brought you into this world of horology, man, and your love for timepieces.
Man, the world got you to blame for that, man, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
But seriously, man, you know, I'm in sales, man, sales expert, sales leader, for financial services to tech sales to pretty much anything. Young entrepreneur, on multiple businesses, but more importantly, man, me and you was building after we had like a team call, and then you was just like, "Hey, man, what do you know about watches?"
yeah,
Right? And
yeah,
it was kind of funny because I was like seeing little things that made me like draw more interest into really wanting to get into watches, man. And what was this, man? A few months ago, and then it seemed like we've been talking about it every day since, with different
yeah,
ideas, different thoughts, and what we've been learning and sharing, man. So, watches has always been a part as an accessory for me, just something I just would want to throw on, but I only had like one or two. Um, since then, man, it's just been on a crazy journey of learning the study of time, where wristwatches came from, the different brands, and just the study of horology in general, man.
yeah, yeah. No, you're right, man. Ever since we had that conversation a few months back, I feel like I just been on a just a man, just going down a rabbit hole, just learning about the industry, learning about different timepieces, man. So an introduction to the world of rod die. So my life revolves around tech, sports, finance. And that pretty much sums it up. I mean, before all of that, I'm a man of God. I'm a family man. But as far as like my personal interests, tech, sports, finance, and for me, kind of like yourself, I've always had a nice watch or two, even going back to high school and the photos that you've seen. We said I had the 51 millimeter on, but
51
um,
S.
always had I've always kept a nice timepiece, man. Whether it was like a fashion watch, back in the day, it was the say I had, Rockaware watch, or I might have had a we called the Whoopty, might have had the replica Jacob on at the time in high school, might have had a G
Hey,
Shock on or something, but always kept a nice watch. And I'll say about 6 to 8 months ago, had a colleague had a nice timepiece on. He said it was a Grand Seiko. I had never heard of it, and
mm,
then I just kept it in the back of my mind. And then like at the top of the year, went to a the corporate kickoff meeting, and I ain't gonna lie, some of those execs they brought them big pieces out, man. You know what I'm saying? You seen some Rollies, you seen some Protects, you seen a couple APs. I was like, okay, now I need to step my game up.
yeah,
So, that's when I reached out to you, reached out to a mentor of mine as well,
yeah.
down in Miami, who's big on the watch scene. And between the conversation I had with him, then the conversation I had with you, literally like every day, like it's, become where I said it was tech, sports, and finance. Now it's like tech, sports, horology, finance, like it's all
Yeah.
wrapped in. And I know we talk about it like every day, man. So without further ado, before we dive deeper, man, we got to do the wrist check.
All right.
Got to do the wrist check, man. So I'm gonna go
Mhm.
ahead and kick it off, man.
Go ahead.
So what I got on here, man, is I have a Breitling Super Ocean.
Yeah.
The Breitling Super Ocean. Yes,
Beauty.
sir. Yeah, man. And it's the first, I'll say my first big boy piece that I got, when Breitling, I'll say back in the heyday of the brand, back in like the 2000s when Breitling was like real big on the hip hop scene, I'll say it made an impression on me. Obviously when people think about luxury watches, they think Rolex. For me, obviously, you think Rolex, but always remember like Breitling as well. And it always stuck out to me. I remember the big bezels, the big, aviation dials that they had and still produce. So, you
Gucci.
know, yes, sir. And yeah, man. So, when it's time for me to, I know I was, consulting with you, consulting with my mentor about what watch to get. And my first piece, I said, you know what? I'm gonna stay true to myself. I'm gonna get something that I always wanted. And after doing research, I settled on a piece, settled on the Breitling Super Ocean, man. And it's been man, it's been a few months since I had it. Definitely the first of many to come, man. But it's
Beauty. The
yeah.
beauty.
So yeah, man, this is definitely something that'll be near and dear. Like I said, my first big boy piece, and yeah, won't be the definitely won't be the last Breitling, man. What you got on, man? Talk to me.
I'm being true to myself too, bruh. So
Yeah,
first of all, I see the brightening and frightening. Gucci, you know
yeah,
what I'm saying? He was the first person I ever heard mention Breitling, bro. And then when he had his on it, then he started going crazy with adding the bezels on
yeah,
there and stuff like that. Kind of like how you did in high school with the 51. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
Start getting crazy. But yeah, man. I kept it true to myself as well, man.
Okay,
So we're gonna talk later and more about this as time go on, but this was actually the first watch I bought after me and you start talking about getting different watches. This is the
okay,
San Martin SN017.
okay.
It's a diver watch. It is a
Yeah,
Chinese watch with a Seiko NH35 movement inside of
yeah,
it, 200 meters of water resistant, automatic with the date.
man. Tell him the specs, man. Talk
You
to
know
him.
what I'm saying? I'm just talking to
Talk
him
to
a
him,
little bit,
man.
man. And I
Yeah,
absolutely love this piece. Now I know it's a little controversial. I know a lot of the enthusiasts that we watch really don't get into some of the Chinese brands, but I mean China is literally the center of the watch market right now. And they're making
really is.
incredible pieces of their own. Now, clearly, this is a homage this is a homage to the Rolex Submariner, which, you know, I think I'm 46 days, 17 hours, 37 minutes, and
Yeah,
19, 20, 21 seconds on that wait list for. But just being real, man, just doing some research, man. You go on this watch journey, you go on a real crazy what did you call it earlier, rabbit hole, you know. And I've been on Reddits and different accounts, man, and then you start getting these ads and sponsors, AliExpress, Amazon, all these different things, man. And I came across this brand Sam Martin that I think is a very high quality Chinese watch brand, that paid a homage to the best parts of the Rolex Submariners from the 90s to 2000s and the 2020s. So I love the way it looks on the wrist, high quality steel. I've tested it in the Atlantic Ocean and it did just fine.
yeah.
And that's what I got on today.
Nice, dope, man.
Thank
And yeah, and actually, you bring me to a good my first question. Actually, we started Chrono Club on Facebook.
you.
So
Yes, man.
if you're not part of Chrono Club, please join. It's very simple. Just it's Chrono Club, and we're having some great conversations in there, seeing some great pieces.
Amazing.
And what I like that we both have our first watches were divers, you know And I think the divers are, it's a very universal watch. You can dress it up, you can dress it down. It's so universal. Of course, we got a nice
Hold up.
timepiece. You
You
said
can
what?
kind of beat them up a little bit too. You know what I
Can beat
mean?
them
Like
up. Yeah, they're durable.
you could use them at any
Durable.
given situation. You know, you might be having a cocktail 1 minute. You might want
Yeah,
to go shoot some pool or something. You
yeah.
might be on a yacht and have to jump in off the water or something. Either way, you gonna be good with a diver watch on.
You're gonna be good. You know they're built to last. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, man. So one of the questions, ever since I started Chrono Club, people reach out to me on people reach out to me on Facebook. People like even like through text conversations. They've shared that they have an affinity. They have an interest in collecting watches and don't know where to start. And people always ask like, what's a great first watch? Like, where should I start? And I always say, buy the watch you like. Start with the watch that you like. Obviously people are going to just automatically say Rolex from the start. People say Rolex, or people are going to go to what they see in the media. Rolex, they'll go to the Pateks, they'll go to the APs. But there are a lot of great watches out there. They may go to the Cartier, but you have to start, start with the watch you like. Also start with what's in budget for yourself. And that's the beauty of it. And we'll dive into that, on the watchers. So many great brands at all price points. At all price points, from $100 or less to hundreds of thousands of dollars
Hundreds
and
and
everywhere in between.
thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I would definitely say that, like I said, start with the watch that you like and start with the watch that's, in budget for you, because at the end of the day, they are just watches.
Yep.
They are just
It's a
watches,
small
man.
niche group, man. It's a crazy, crazy niche group. And it's fascinating that, when we started looking for these things, we've started to find our people, if you will. You know what I mean? We started to find our people who really care about the study of horology, who really care about timepieces, the craftsmanships. And I agree with you 1,000%. People reach out to me all the time, and I was one of those people. And it's just like, oh man, I see you in the watches. You got a Roly, and it's like you got a Rolex, And I think that is, uh, 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 I think we both, we're on that path, of course. But you start to understand different brands, different mechanics, different way they're crafted, whether they're from Germany, whether they're from Switzerland, whether they're from Japan, whether they was US made, how they're different. And the first thing I did, the first watch I paid my own money for was a Belova Marine Star. Now, it was a brief conversation with a few people that were telling me, "Oh, I'm thinking about getting a watch. We did $100,000 a month in business this month, so I want to get a watch." And they start saying different things. The first thing I said, "Oh, you want to get a Rolex?" Without really even knowing, because I just felt like that was a status symbol, right? And I think it
Mhm.
still is. But as they start naming different timepieces or different brands, I realized I didn't know what they were talking about. So first thing I did, I remember it was Easter Sunday. I was at my fiance's family's home. I'm sitting there. I have a nice suit on. I felt like I wasn't all the way dressed correctly because I didn't have a watch on. You know what I'm saying? So um, I was on Amazon and I just found the first watch that really was drawn to me. And it was the Belova Marine Star. It's a black face chrono with gold accents. I wish I had it here to show you, man, but we might be able to show that to you. But at the end of the day, I
Yeah, we
had
can
that
do that.
watch. I didn't know what a chrono was. I didn't know. I didn't know what all the other dials meant. I didn't know if it was a quartz or automatic. It just was beautiful. And then as time went on, when you asked me, do I know about watches? And I started looking into watches, I was like, well, I do have some watches. So I went to go look at my watches and I started to learn backwards. I think it's to all start with how you like it visually. And then as you buy watches and see how they operate, you go backwards to say, well, let me learn more about my particular watch. Why is it in this category? What's the mechanics of it? What's the specs? And then as you learn more, you will start buying better.
No, I absolutely agree. And it's interesting that you say that your first watch was the below Marine Star. I know we talked about this because that was my first watch as well. When I graduated from Wright State University, my mother took me to Eastland Mall, and that's the watch I picked out. The below Marine Star, black sports band, rose gold face. And at the time, I didn't know what the chrono was. Until I got into watches. Didn't even really realize that it had the date window on the watch. I just liked the watch. It looked nice, wasn't like really like on the specs. This is, 2012. So yeah, at the time, like I said, I just wanted to watch. And that's a watch that, I wore every single day. It's the watch I got married in back in 2019. So if you see photos of me, you're nine times out of nine, you're going to see that watch. I still have it, to this day. It's a watch I always have with, always have. Like I said, that's a piece that my mom got me when I graduated from Wright State.
Small
So
world, man. We just kind
yeah,
of had the same idea.
yeah,
Mine was
absolutely.
2021. You said yours was 2012.
Yeah, 2012. Yeah, yeah,
Crazy, crazy.
yeah, yeah.
I think I've seen yours. Is yours rose gold? Where yours is rose gold, mine is just straight yellow gold.
Got you.
Pretty
Okay.
much the same. That's
Hey,
crazy.
still, yeah, yeah. Same
Beautiful
taste,
watch,
same taste.
man. It's a beautiful brand too, man.
Absolutely. And so we'll definitely touch on that. But yeah, I definitely say as far as like value brands, Bova definitely ranks at the top for me as well. Like I said, I know we're planning on having that conversation.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, man. So obviously it's the intro episode, so just from your perspective, man, like,
Yeah.
so what is your favorite brand? Just out of all brands. Out of all
It's
brands.
still
All
Rolex for me, man.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the more I got to
Yeah.
study watches in general and the brands and the history, I mean, I got the book. You know what I mean? It got the grill right here, Rolex Daytona, Paul.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, at the Paul Newman Daytona. I'll just say that for real, man, is Rolex. I just feel like with all the different lines, they have iconic watches on every single line. From Oyster Perpetuals, this their simple timekeeping watch. They have classics from the Tiffany blue, olive green dials. I think even the silver dials are beautiful pieces, entry level luxury watches. We already know what the date just fluted booted with the Jubilee. With Jubilee, listen, those are crazy. Mint
Yeah.
dials, chocolate dials. You could go up to the Submariner, like we just talked about. I like the Polar Explorer twos. A lot of people are like that with that. I could wear that every day. Um, from the Explorer ones to, and then we start getting to the GMTs. We talk about the Batman, Batgirls. We start talking about the zombies. We start talking about crazy dials. And back to the subs where we talking about the Kermits, the Hawks, the Bluesy. Is one of the next watches I want to get. Um, I like the Yacht Masters. Some people are like this with Yacht Masters.
You
I,
like Rolex because I
I
feel like you
like
named
Rolex,
pretty much
bro.
everything.
That's what I'm saying. And the King Presidential. You know what I mean? I like Rolex, bro. What about you, man?
Yeah.
What is your favorite watch brand?
So I'm gonna have to agree with you, honestly. As far as just like my like the go-to watch brand, I would definitely say, I mean, I feel like it starts with Rolex, to be honest with you. Like it's a clean, like I mean, it's Rolex. I mean, what more do you have to say? Like the brand, the crown speaks for itself. I'm 47 days on the wait list, by the way. Been waiting on the piece for a minute. So when I get the call, you guys will know. The fellow watchers, you guys will know. So I mean the roller, I mean, it's just not even necessarily the pinnacle of the pinnacle of horology, but just as far as when people think watches, people think luxury watches, people think Rolex. Like
Immediately.
it's literally the benchmark like that all watches are measured against, all luxury watches are measured against. It's the one watch that even if someone isn't into watches the way that we are, the way that our community is. They know Rolex. We always compare it to like the Mercedes Benz, where typically, like we talk about luxury cars, like typically that's the first one that comes to mind. There are higher end cars when you get into like Rolls Royces and Bentleys, and you get like to Bugattis and things like that. Just like there are higher end watches, but when you think about luxury timepieces, you think about the Rolex. I mean, like you said, the day date, that's the grail. That's the
Is
grail
that
for
what you on the wait list for, the day
that's what
date?
we're to. Oh, not not just
You on
yet.
the wait list for a day
Not
date?
just
You
yet.
getting
I'm
a
on a wait
fuzzy off
list.
the bat?
Man, on a wait list for the day just, man.
Okay.
Not yet. It's coming soon. It's coming soon. It's coming soon. But I'll definitely say Rolex. I'll say Rolex aside. As far as like ultra luxury, I'll definitely go AP. I mean, Audemars Piguet is definitely, I'll say my preferred or top like ultra luxury, watch. I mean, I love AP, as we discussed offline,
Yeah.
and as the good fellas over at like No Luxury Bazaar had stated, I mean, the Royal Oak is just the best canvas for any watch.
It
Like
is,
it's
man. Joe Genta, and he designed that during a very, very crucial time for mechanical watches.
yeah,
When the course came out, Seiko came out with the course movement, it almost
yeah,
killed the Swiss watchmaking industry. But
yeah,
he that that Royal Oak is a blank canvas where you could put a perpetual calendar in there, whether it's the waffle where you want to see a skeleton dial. That is my favorite watch. I
yeah,
feel like if I could get one watch, if I had to get one watch, right,
yeah,
and different varieties and different specs, it would be the Royal Oak, the AP Royal Oak.
yeah.
I could get it frosted. I could get it yellow gold. I could get it rose gold. I could get it in ceramics. I could get it with a blue dial, green dial, chocolate dial. I can get it skeleton.
You
I
can
mean, you
rock it.
can get it in so many different varieties. You can get it with the rainbow bezel, and it's all going to look
Right.
amazing.
You can rock it on a bracelet. You can switch
Right.
out the band. It doesn't matter. It's like I mean it's truly a work of art. It's truly a work of art. Outside of like those we call, I'll say the Fab Five of
Yeah, it's
watches,
a
if you
Fab
will.
Five.
Outside of the Fab Five being Rolex, AP, Patek, Vacheron, Constantine. I have to put Richard Mill in there as
Are
well.
you throwing Richard Mill in there?
I'll have to put them in the Fab Five, man. I just feel like they're, like high. I feel like they're so in demand, like they're like highly regarded as far as, just the demand, their presence in the marketplace, their role in the culture. Like I would definitely put them like in like the Fab Five. As far as like historical horology, maybe not, dating back, 40, 50, 60 plus years, but we're talking about 2025, and they're definitely,
Okay,
I would say, in the Fab Five of watches for sure. At least that's what
crazy.
I'll say. But outside of the Fab Five, and you already know where I'm going with this, man. I'm just a big fan of Breitling. I'm a big fan of the rebound. I like what they're doing. And honestly, one of the reasons that Breitling is like my favorite non, Fab Five brand is the fact that I can just get the watch that I want. Like
Man,
there
let's
is
talk
something
about
to
that,
being
man.
able to just buy the watch that I want without going through the AD hassle or
Okay.
having to pay, you know, a multiple to get it, on the secondary gray market, to be able to just get the piece that I want without, breaking the bank for it, without feeling like I have to go through, a arbitrary process to obtain it. And they have some nice pieces. And I like the fact that, they're not as mainstream as they once were, but I will say that it's still a brand, it's still a watch to, where people will see it. And once I say it's a Briley, I don't have to go down and explain what it is, or what type, people know what the brand is. It's very polarizing, whether they like it, don't like it, feel like they oversaturate the market. It doesn't matter. They have an opinion on it. People know what it is, and it goes back to getting the watch that you like. This is the watch that I
So
like.
with that being said, let me ask you real quick. So
Yeah,
because I want to touch on the Breitlands, but you have brought up a really good point. the going through a process of the AD experience.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
both currently on the wait list situation right now. You know, we
47
both
days.
wait list shorties. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, how do you feel about, being that you want to spend your money
Yeah.
for a watch that you want? You
Yeah.
have the money, you see the watch, and then you have to wait. Like, briefly, we don't have to go a deep dive, but like, what is that like? How does that make you feel? And then I want to touch on, what's the top few of your favorite Breitlands, right now, other than the Super Ocean, of course.
Yeah. Honestly, the experience is crazy. Like, you read about it on Reddit, you see it on YouTube, you hear people's experiences. So first off, I'll say that it's yeah, I guess I mean it could be humbling. Like for one,
Please.
like it's just it's just crazy how like the reverse psychiatry, that they play on you, and it's just like, okay, like it's almost like you have to convince you why I should spend my money with you. And even though like I didn't go, I mean, I just went up there and just had like just a normal conversation. They told me that the watch isn't in, I mean, well, the watch isn't available at that time,
The
expressed my
watch you were
interest. I mean,
holding in your hands, right? The watch
the
you were
watch,
holding in your hand that
I
you tried
couldn't
on.
buy the watch. Tried on the watch, but I can't walk out with it. That was just crazy. But had a conversation with him. Good conversation. I've seen some, like posts or people share their experience where the people like were condescending. For one, you're not about to talk down to me. Period. At the end of the day, I'm the one with the money. And even if I was in their browser, you're not about to talk down to me. Period. First off, but
Facts.
like flat out.
Facts.
But the conversation was
Not
cool.
your little homies, man. We
You
not
said
your
what?
little homies. We
Yeah, we
not
not your
homies.
little, we not your little homies, but yeah, man.
Absolutely,
But
bro.
yeah, but like it is crazy though. Like you said, I'm the one with the money, and it's just like you try it on, but you can't walk out with it, and that's a crazy experience. And it's like 47 days, and it's like, man, how long is the wait? And the thing is, like, I know that I can just go buy it. Like even at the markup price, I can go buy it on the secondary market. Like there are no shortage of people going to the AD and flipping them online. Like the watches are available,
They're right
but
there.
it's just like I do want to experience it. And ultimately, I just want to see how long this is going to take. I'm not going to beg them to take my money,
Yeah, for
but it's
sure.
just anyways. Like I really just want to see like how long this is going to take to get
I
this
think it's
thing.
valuable. I mean, the more me and you talk, I feel like we go back and forth every single day. I think we kind of go back and forth every day, and then it's like conversations that me and you have where I'm just like, "Hey, man, just go ahead and buy it, bro." Like, look,
Great,
Moses got this on his page. Watch King got his on his page. The
yeah,
what they call the watch guys. Like, it's so many different luxury bazaar. They hitting up, they responding. But then I sit back and I say, you know what? It's a rites of passage situation. I think you brought this up. It's a good rites of passage to be able to, say you went to an AD, you had a conversation, you let them know what the special occasion was for you, why you were looking for it. You're not looking to flip none of these watches. You want to hold this off to commemorate a moment in your life. And then I just think it's genius the way Rolex, Patek, and others have created this false. It's a false scarcity because we know that they produce over
Anthony.
1.3 million Rolexes a year. So it's not like a situation where it's like Patek who only do 40,000, if that, watches in production, and that's across all their lines, right? And all different specs for but that being said, I respect that, we're on this journey. It's a part of our watch journey. You
Yeah,
know, just like you can, probably use Chat GPT to write your story. We're going to take the long route and we're going to
yeah.
see how this process works. Now,
They
am I
start
going to
taking the
promise
stairs.
that I'm going to always go that route to get the watch that I want? Nah, I'm not saying that either. In fact, if it's a watch that's not in production, I recommend that you have to go that route. Or if you want to go vintage, you have to go that route as
Yeah.
well. But it is good to, get an authorized dealer, build that relationship,
Yeah.
especially for retail prices is concerned, because I do like what you said to me. Hey, the manufacturer recommends it at this amount. I should be able to get it for this amount. So that's
That's
what it should be,
enough.
as opposed to paying five
Yeah.
or $10,000
Yeah.
more for a Daytona. So I'm with you on that, man. So
Yeah.
that was a very good point, man. So
Yeah.
back to those Breitlands, man. So I know you got
Yeah.
the Super Ocean.
Let me say, we'll touch on that one.
Okay.
Last point. So I went to, I was recently in New York. So I went to 47th Street and I was in there talking with one of the owner of the
Okay.
jewelers. This is a good point. And this really goes like beyond the watches and, his price point, he wanted the same day just I was on the wait list for, he wanted to sell it to me for, 15.5. And I just told him just like, no, I don't want to do that. Like, this is what I want to pay for it. And you kind of go back to the conversation. I know people are saying like his price is his price. That's cool. And like, I don't have to pay your price though. Like your price is your
Mhm.
price. If I think your price is crazy, I don't have to pay it. I don't care what other people are paying. I'm the one with the money. If I think your price is crazy, I don't have to pay your price.
Yep.
So yeah. So
You're not
um
demanding him give you the watch at your price. You know
no.
what I'm saying?
This is what I'm
So
willing to pay. You don't want to sell at that price,
listen,
it's cool. I don't want to buy it at your price.
yep.
And that's just what it is. But like you said, man, I don't think I'll go to the AD for every single Rolex that I want. I know for a fact that I'm not,
Mhm,
because I don't have to. I want to go like this experience, and I'll do like when it makes sense. Like
mhm.
if I'm in the market for a black sub, no date, I'll just go to the gray market and get it. I see what they're priced at. Like, if I want just depend. Like if I want a Prezi, unless I just like I want a brand new one, but no, I don't have. I can go to the gray market and get it. They're out there. There are
Yeah.
plenty of watches out there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even to this point, like it's gonna take so long. Like, let's just say I just wanted to get a Batman or a Batgirl. That's another one where I'll just go to the gray market and get it because it's gonna take so long for you to get allocated one. If you ever get one, you might as well just go to the gray
Everybody
market.
wants them now, and I feel like the ADs are and Rolex is looking at when people come in and just straight off the bat ask for those, they're
Yeah,
looking to flip them because you can get 3, 4, 5, $6,000 the next day of walking out of there,
yeah,
especially if it's a 2025 card, warranty, everything. Let it be a Pepsi. They might pay $20,000, what I'm saying, for that watch where you can get it for 13, 14,000. So
yeah,
um I mean, I understand that, but it's like if it's for us, who really want to have this a part of their collection, it's probably going to take you a little bit of time to actually get that. So if
yeah,
you really want it, you might want to go that second route.
yeah. You said you had a question about the
Yeah,
big
man. So
B's.
for the Breitlands, man, like you kind of made me look at them a little bit more. And I love your Super Ocean. And I wanted to know, like, since you like Brightland so much, what are some of the ones that you plan on, getting next, or that you've been eyeing, or is there one that you like? I know I'm going to get this one next.
So I'm definitely going to get a Navitimer.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to get a Navitimer because that's like the Breitling icon. Like they refer to it like as the icon. Like
Mm,
that is Breitling's like flagship watch, the
okay.
Navitimer. And we think about it, we think of aviation watch like it's the quintessential, like aviation watch. And just like when people think Rolex, you might think of the sub. You might think of a day date, like they have a lot of signature pieces, but it's like the one Breitling piece. Whereas like the Super Ocean is a dive watch, you can say it was, modeled or inspired by other like dive watches.
I see
Maybe,
you over
maybe
there
not. It
shining.
has a oh yeah, the Shador.
I
But
see.
it's where you can say like dive watches, like they all have some similarities. They all have the sliding bezel, the sliding roll bezel there, but like the Navitimer isn't like any other watch really. Like it's a true like aviation piece. It's the iconic Breitling. It's what you think. It's like the dictionary picture when you think of Breitling,
Give
like
me
the
the specs,
Navitimer.
bro. Give me the
So,
specs of the one you want. Now, you doing a Navitimer GMT or a Navitimer Chrono?
man, great question. So, I'm gonna definitely lean chrono. I'm just a chrono guy for real. There's a couple I like. I like the black dials. I mean, I think we both, man, that the ice blue is crazy.
The Ice Blue
Ice
is
blue dials,
crazy, man.
ice
I
blue is
just literally
crazy.
just saw a
Yeah,
Navitimer GMT 41
yeah,
Ice Blue,
yeah,
navy blue leather,
yeah.
like leather gator kind of material straps against that ice blue,
Ice blue is
and that and
crazy.
that and I, is if it's steel or white gold, either way, that
Yeah,
case looks crazy with that
yeah,
combination.
yeah. The one Jalen Hurts wore to the Met Gala was nice. The ice blue. They also have one with the copper dial that I like as well. The copper. So I like
Mm.
that one. So definitely a Navitimer. I like the Chrono Max as well. Obviously, I like the price point that you can get them at, but I like them though. I like how
So keep
I
going.
like how they pay homage to the like kind of to their aviation heritage and their military heritage, and it has like the roulette bracelet that looks like the bullets, that's
Oh,
something that
amazing.
appeals to me. There's a lot of things that I feel like they're kind of shifting away from for good reason, but I feel like those are like the with the Super Ocean, the Chronomat, the Navitime. I feel like that could be the core foundation. They also like the Premiere is nice too. I know we've talked about that. The Bryland Premiere is very nice too, and I know they get higher up on, they get to like the perpetual calendars, and they got some things that they're working on the higher end.
Top
But
time.
the top time and the top time's a nice piece as well. It's very clean. It kind of, I know they don't want me to say this, but it's kind of OP-ish as
Mm.
far as like the dial is kind of playing, but it gives you what you need. Nice, clean dial. They're kind of you can see that they're modernizing with their slimmer cases. Getting down to like the 36, 38K size is no longer really doing 46, 48. Those
I
type of
just think
cases.
they cost too much. Imma just keep it a buck with you. I probably would never buy like, I like everything that you just said
Mhm.
100%. I starting to like them a lot more.
Yep.
I know more lines of Brightland than I ever thought I knew. I forgot I knew about Chronomat, Navitimer, Top Time, Super Ocean, and so on. But I just think that if they want to be competitive, that they should have their offerings. And I hate to say this because this is not the cornerstone, but it is the cornerstone of the market. So if you're going to have your Navitimer chrono, you got to have it comparable at a better price point than you're going to have at a Daytona. If you're going to have this watch as their diver, make sure it's at a better price point to where it's like, you know, I could get a Submariner between 9,200 and 10,500 with the Cyclops, but for half of that, I can get the Super Ocean and da 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 da. Now in the second market, you can get it like that, right? But I just feel like maybe their initial sales would be higher if they already put them around that price point. And what are your thoughts?
So the market, the market doesn't lie. There's a reason. Like a lot of models you can get 30, 33% off retail, 33 to 50%. But as far as like a lot of the new models, you can really get them for 33% off. And even though I got this from an authorized Breitling dealer, I was able to get it. I was able to use that actually to negotiate a great price from the AD because ultimately I could just go get it. And I could just go get it off, off the secondary market, brand new for, like I said, 33% off.
So
I'm gonna
wait,
shop
you
with you,
got you went to an authorized dealer,
Yes,
right? And you
yes,
saw a watch of Breitling that you wanted, that watch, and
yes.
you show him that you could get it 30 to 33% off if you went over here and they gave you the discount on that watch?
So it's 55 in store. This watch was $5,500. $5,500. On the on online, you could get it, brand new anywhere, 35 to $3,800 brand new. Now plus tax, of course you can get it 3,800 to $4,000. I was able to get this from the AD for that $4,000 out the door because I just
Show
use it
the
like, look.
show the camera that while you telling us, bro, because I really want them to see how much watch you get for
Yeah,
that cost point, bro.
yeah,
That's that's awesome, bro.
yeah. And it came with the metal strap. I
Mm,
I threw the Breitling rubber strap on there
crazy.
just because it makes the face pop more. But
Yeah.
yeah, but no, you're absolutely right. I do think that they're overpriced. I feel like they're, kind of, correcting some of their old ways. I feel like they wanted to historically they competed with Rolex. I feel like over the last, couple of decades, they've, essentially like lost their way. They wanted to compete with Rolex, but they were really like competing with like Tudor. Like for example, they wanted to compete with Rolex and like pricing wise, but a lot of their watches had the same like share the same movements as Tudor, which automatically just puts you on the same tier as Tudor. Essentially putting you want to compete with Big Bro, but at the core inside the watch, it's the same as the little brother in Tudor. You can't do that. They've invested in their in-house movements now, so we'll see what that does as far as perception. There's different things they could do. They have a lot of, and we'll get into this, but there's a lot of partnerships, a lot of things that I feel like that dilute the brand as well.
Mm.
Like where Rolex, they only all Rolex part like they're just exclusive, high end, partnerships. Wimbledon, they're partnering with like Roger Federer.
It
You
was
know,
F1 till Tag
yeah,
took spent they
yeah,
said Tag spent like 180 million.
yeah,
180 million
yeah,
to be the official time.
yeah,
Um, when that
yeah,
Rolex contract was getting renegotiated, they came in with 180 million to be the sponsor for F1. So they really put their all their eggs in the basket to really get back into that sport, and I think that was a smart move for them.
yeah.
Super smart.
Whereas like like Breitling, like their partnerships or like their like for example, like they've like Brad Pitt's a brand ambassador and they keep catching them in APs. They keep catching him in Rolexes and other brands.
Isn't that
They
crazy, man?
have brand that's it's insane. They have what like Trevor like they have a brand partnership with like Trevor Lawrence. Like that doesn't move the needle.
It,
They
it,
have a
it,
brand partnership with like Giannis. Obviously, Giannis is a champion, but as far as like the culture, he doesn't move the needle. Maybe abroad, he has
Maybe
more appeal.
abroad.
I can only speak for here, but I can speak for here. Like Trevor Lawrence doesn't move the needle. Like he's not
No,
somebody like, oh, he has, he's not a, a trendsetter. So I think they need to go back to the drawing board there, but I'll wrap it up in just saying that there's some potential there. Obviously, I still like the watches. I still plan on getting an Navitimer. Get a few more, Breitling pieces, but there's definitely some things and like I plan on touching on that, some things that they can do to, improve the brand, improve the messaging as well. And it's gonna take time. They may never catch the crown, but they can, better position themselves. So
absolutely.
I'm done,
Enough
man.
market for
Done there.
everybody,
Yeah.
man. And then you just have the reigning Super Bowl champion, media darling, wear the Breitling at the biggest fashion event of the year.
Yeah.
That should be a no-brainer. I don't know if they contact him, if he just felt like that was something he wanted to wear. At the end of the day,
Man, we know
that's
what
where
that
you kind of lean
is.
into that. He's already
Yeah.
tied to the Jordan brand. He's a
That's who you
football.
wanna
That's who
that's
you
who you wanna partner with. Like that's who
yeah.
you wanna partner with. He's a champion, the
And y'all
champion.
already have a beautiful green dialed watch that you can really just make it a limited edition version of that with a special strap or a special precious metal
Yeah.
and really lean into that. And I'm just going to keep it all the way real. Lean into black culture. Lean more into black culture. If you're trying to move the needle in America,
You move the needle.
lean and abroad, lean into
If
black
you
culture. You got a black
America, you wanna move the needle worldwide, you lean into black culture. Ultimately, like I always say, black culture is pop culture.
It is pop culture. We move the
Like
needle,
we move the needle, period. Like no matter what, like we set the trends.
and as
We
we
set the
start
trends.
seeing more people like ourselves in this space,
Yeah.
you're gonna start, and not just as consumers,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. The influence, like at the end of the day, like I mean, we think of the trends, even back from like we talk about in the 2000s, like the Brylands. We heard, Gucci. We heard the rappers. I think Carmelo Anthony just spoke on back in the day. Like they had the iced out Brylands, like the Jacobs. I mean, it's the culture that put Jacob on the map. People didn't
Mhm.
hear about AP until they had the partnership with Jay Z
Or Hublot.
or Hublot, exactly. You
Mhm.
know, what else? Even like I mean, people, Richard Mill been around, but I mean, Richard Millie cost a Lambo. Like, come on, man. Like the culture put them
Yeah.
on the map, man. Like, come on. Like I know it's Patex, but the hip hop industry, you know what I'm saying? The Paddocks. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? As they say, the Paddocks, you know what I'm saying? But that even down to the
So your rollie,
Shador,
uh,
the ice down and like we move the culture. We move the culture and everything. We move the culture in fashion, but the thing is like we just get, the culture gets exploited, you know. They get
we're
exploited.
consumers. A lot of times,
We're
and we
consumed. Yeah.
and it's not to, put a blame game to it, because sometimes we fall into it. We try
Yeah.
to buy our way into circles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We try
And
to
just
spend our
create.
money in ways to get into inner circles, and I just think that they should expand their marketing team, their branding presence. If Brightland really wanted to compete on a different level, um, especially here in the United States and abroad, they will probably tap into Black culture a little bit more. And Black culture is not just hip hop. You know what I mean? I'm just saying in general, Black culture. Like I said, you have a Super Bowl champion, the biggest sporting event other than the World Cup, the Super Bowl, the MVP of said Super Bowl, Black quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles wore Brightland to the Met Gala. You want to lean into that. Let's reach out to him. Let's have that conversation. Let's start doing more promo with that at press conferences. Walking, they basically do a fashion show when they walk from their car down the tunnel to every single game. You got a free commercial for Brightland for 7 or 18 weeks at least, at least. So, that's just something that I think that's a frustration with them. That has nothing to do with me wanting to get one of their watches from the gray market, of course, because I haven't got my first luxury watch yet. So I'm still debating: will it be a Breitling? Will it be a Tudor? Will it be Frederic Constant? Or will I just wait for that call from this wait list that I'm on, and let that be the first one. I'm
Yeah.
still debating that, but if when I know, y'all will know
Yeah, absolutely.
for sure.
Absolutely, man. So definitely stay tuned, man. We have a lot in store for you. Not only, candid conversations such as this, but we'll do deep dive into, certain topics around, our favorite watches, things that are going on in the watch community. And man, watches.
Watches.
Yes,
Make sure
yes,
y'all
yes.
follow that Chrono Club on Facebook as well.
Follow the Chrono Club on Facebook. You follow the Watchers on IG. IG handle down below,
Mhm.
man. And we'll catch you at episode 2.
Yes, sir. Like, comment, subscribe, and share it. Let's get it.